Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for a very wonderful speech with a wonderful content and everything, really explaining what our relationship is between China and Africa. Thank you very much. I will now give the floor to His Excellency President Robert Mugabe, the chairperson of the AU, to give a statement.
Your Excellencies, Co-Chairman, President Jacob Zuma and President Xi Jinping, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Your Excellency, the Representative of Secretary General of the United Nations, if present, Your Excellency Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Honorable Ministers, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends. Before I read my statement, I must say, after listening to President Xi Jinping, a speech so rich in forms of assistance covering practically all our sectors, be they agricultural, mining, infrastructural, industrial, etc., etc., poverty included, poverty alleviation, our children and the women. So much, so many facets of assistance. I'm sure you will agree with me that we give him a round of applause. A round of applause. Here is a man. Here is a man representing a country once called poor, a country which never was our colonizer. But there you are. He is doing to us what we expected those who colonized us yesterday to do. Let them, if they have ears to hear, let them hear. We will say he's a God-sent person. May God bless China and its people. Ladies and gentlemen, I am deeply honored to address this historic second summit of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, FOCAC. On behalf of the African Union, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to our hosts for the warm welcome and hospitality extended to us. Co-chairman, I'm particularly pleased that the second summit is a clear demonstration of the friendship, mutual respect, and understanding between African countries and China. Our relationship with China has stood the test of time and is destined to continue flourishing for many years to come. Co-chairman, I feel highly honored to take the floor immediately after President Xi Jinping has made the much anticipated announcement of new measures, which are historic and destined to change and to inject more vibrancy into the already dynamic relationship between China and Africa. I therefore take this opportunity to express our sincere and profound gratitude. Once again, our detractors have sought to portray and reduce our relations to purely commercial ties driven, in their view, as they say, by China's appetite for and desire to extract raw materials from our continent. That's what they say. On the contrary, reality, fortunately, does not conform to such distorted, imaginative creations. Our relations go much deeper than the extraction of resources. We are committed to strengthening the current and multifaceted and multidimensional relations between African countries and China. Co-chairman, 15 years ago, China and Africa decided to establish a platform founded on a strategic partnership to address issues of common development. The two partners agreed to promote a shared world vision based on peaceful development, mutual respect, and win-win cooperation. At this summit, we celebrate a milestone in the evolution of this platform on China-Africa cooperation. We therefore rededicate ourselves to the principal guidelines of our relations and to the mutuality of the outcomes we seek in our cooperation in the political, economic, cultural, and security spheres. Since the inception of FOCAC, we have witnessed tremendous growth in the relations between Africa and China. China has become Africa's premier investment and trading partner, a trend which has scaled up Africa-China trade volumes to $400 billion by 2020, from $220 billion in 2014. Co-chairman, we commend efforts by FOCAC to deepen institutional ties with regional bodies, such as the African Union and its structures, as well as the African Development Bank. We acknowledge the achievements made so far in the implementation of the pledges that China made in the areas of trade, investment and financing, agriculture, human capital development, health, environment, market access, and regional integration. Co-chairpersons, dear colleagues, we welcome China's support for our determination to transform our countries' economies through an industrialization strategy, which is driven by beneficiation and value addition of our natural resources and agricultural products. We also deeply appreciate China's willingness and readiness to continue to be a key partner in the development of our infrastructure at the national, regional, and continental levels. This year, several groupings of African countries took some major decisions that, when implemented, will give strong impetus to improving intra-African trade and in offering our external partners, such as China, a much larger source and trade market. The Continental Free Trade Area and COMESA, East African Community, and SADC Tripartite Free Trade Area should contribute to integrating Africa's markets and in facilitating the free movement of goods and means of production. Co-Chairman, there is no doubt that the rise of China and Africa as two significant players will have a positive and far-reaching impact in international relations that ensure the democratization of the international system of governance. The perpetuation of the historic injustice of the current system, be it in the United Nations Security Council or the Bretton Woods institutions, is unhealthy and undesirable. And now, together with China, we shall fight for real democracy at the United Nations. We continue to count on China's support and solidarity, therefore, in redressing this situation. Co-Chairman, the past 15 years of our cooperation in the context of FOCAC shows that this forum has induced and has been responsive to the dynamics of our evolving relationships. As we go forward in pursuit of implementing the global development agenda that we adopted in New York at the United Nations last September, it is proper that we assess the efficiency of our forum in the new development context. I am in no doubt that we will carry out this exercise with sincerity, mutual trust, friendship, and focus on concrete results, which are the bedrock of the foundations of FOCAC. Dear colleagues, distinguished delegates, as I conclude, I am confident that our deliberations here in Johannesburg will reinforce the interdependence between China and Africa as we pursue our shared vision. Long live Africa-China relationship. Long live the Forum for Africa-China Cooperation. And I thank you.